What is going on, Detroit Lions fans? Welcome back. Detroit Dead through and through, Steve. As you can see, some technical difficulties with a different camera angle. I don't know what's going on with my GoPro right now. Once I get that figured out, we'll be back to normal, but I didn't have the time to troubleshoot the issue. I wanted to get this episode out, wanted to get it up, get some thoughts and feedback on it. Real quick, I got to thank you guys, man. I asked you guys yesterday to hammer that like button. I'll ask you to do it again. I love reading comments. I love having dialogue. I love having some interactions with you guys that watch the show. It's truly, truly appreciated. So you guys did what I asked, 100 likes, over 50 comments on yesterday's episode. So I will be giving away not one, but both of these Jahmyr Gibbs bobbleheads. Hopefully Monday. You guys know we have a Monday night football game. I'm off Monday. I'm trying to hop on in the morning if I can, depending on what time me and the guys go up, but it'll be no later than Tuesday morning. I want to get these out. I got an idea for how I can give away one to each and keep it fair. Members, you guys are already going to be included. So if you guys are not a member of this channel, please, please, please consider it. It's not required. But it is truly appreciated. All the money that we receive on this channel, I try to give back to you guys or upgrade my audio visual equipment to make this show as best as I possibly can. Jersey giveaways is something I like to do as well. So that's where members' money, I try to put it towards, stuff that I can give back to you guys. We're working on some game tickets too. But, man, what a day. Yesterday's episode, I talked about some potential pieces that the Detroit Lions could look to add with the injury to Davenport, Ali McNeil being banged up. Levi Onwuzurike isn't hurt, but I've noticed like he's gone down in every game. So I think he's got some boo-boos that are going on. So that defensive line depth being tested. So I talked about it yesterday. And in a lot of the comments yesterday, I saw some names popping up. I mentioned Max Crosby. There's a lot of people wanting the Detroit Lions to trade for Max Crosby. I saw Trey Hendrickson's name of the Cincinnati Bengals on there. And I've seen it all over Twitter too. Like, guys, I'm gonna reiterate, all right? I don't like talking trades in week 4. It's crazy to me that the Detroit Lions are 2-1 with one of the best defenses in the league. Yards or points per game, we're at like 17.6. We're ranking 9th in defense. That's the only stat I give two shits about when it comes to defense. Points per game, 17.6. We rank 9. We're in the top 10. We are a top 10 defense. Yards per game, don't care. Rushing yards per game, don't care. I don't care about anything other than points. We're a top 10 defense right now. I get it. Arizona, we went out there. It was a battle. It was an absolute war. We went to war with the Cardinals. They were tough. We took their best shot. Ultimately, I think we dominated the line of scrimmage, but at what cost? Lost Marcus Davenport. Like I said, the injury started to rack up. All right, we're getting hit with the injury bug right now. I want to keep this defense strong just as much as you guys do. So talking trades in week 4, it feels like a panic move. I'm not hitting the panic button. I trust Aaron Glenn. I think that everyone really is panicking because of Marcus Davenport in the most scrutinized position all last year and going into the draft was the opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, who's going to play that defensive end spot. We were hoping to see more than one game from Marcus Davenport. All right. We talked about best availability is availability. Best ability is availability. Whatever I said, you guys know what I mean. He's proven that it's probably not going to work out with Marcus Davenport long term. All right. He was on a 1-year deal. He's out for the season. We're kind of back to the drawing board. Is Josh Pascal the guy? I don't know. So when you guys are talking about elite of the elite defensive ends and Max Crosby, I get it. He said that this comes from a podcast that he was on, like I think it was last year. And it was such a loaded and unfair question for him and Lions fans because I knew it was going to get a lot of people's hopes up. He was asked a simple question along the lines of, if you weren't playing for the Raiders, who's the team you'd like to play for? And he said the Lions. Immediately I said, oh boy, here we go. This is going to open the floodgates. We're going to see this all over. This was last year, and it was an unfair question for Max. it was a really unfair question for us because it created this false hope. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible that we're going to trade for Max Crosby. I get it. He's from Texas. He played at Eastern Michigan. He's very well known in the Ypsilanti community, in the Ann Arbor area from his Eastern Michigan days. I think they just renamed the football field after him. Him and his wife donated I think it was $2 million or something to the athletic department. Like, he's a solid ass dude. Okay. He's got some ties. And then if you just look at what he does on the football field, he's what Aiden Hutchinson is. Okay. And I get it. Picturing Max Crosby and Aiden Hutchinson is the most unfair thing you could do in the NFL. It's absolutely phenomenal to think about. But realistically, I just don't see it happening. Same thing with Trey Hendrickson. Okay. And I think Trey Hendrickson is a little bit more. Be careful, Steve. Be very careful here. Trey Hendrickson is more of a realistic option. And I'll get to why I think that in a second. I guess it's because really he kind of hinted earlier in the offseason that he would like a trade from the Bengals because of his contract situation. So if we take Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson, then what we have to do is look at their teams and where they are now. Okay, so the Bengals are 0-3. The Raiders are 1-2. The Raiders are not dead. They're not out of it. It's 1-2. It's not an ideal start. Are they eliminated from the playoffs? No. Are they going up against a tough draw because the Kansas City Chiefs are in their division? Yeah, it's tough. They're going to have their work cut out for them. They're probably looking at fighting for a wild card spot. Getting the wild card, getting the playoffs, you never know. Anything can happen. Just get in. When I look at the Bengals, 0-3 with the Ravens, who are going to get hot. They have the Steelers, who are 3-0, and the Browns. That's a tough division. I don't want to say that the Bengals are out of it because in the back of their heads, they're probably thinking, we have Joe Burrow. We have a really good offense. We got to get some stuff figured out. But where they are right now, it is they're really, really up against the 8-ball. So again, is it more possible for the Bengals to trade Hendrickson? In my opinion, based off where the Bengals are in their paths right now and what Trey Hendrickson has said in the past, yes. Max Crosby has never came out and demanded a trade. He's never asked for a trade. He's never hinted for a trade. All he was asked was a very, very unfair question by whatever podcast he was on. I can't remember who it was. It was one of the big timers, but just as soon as that happened, I just knew we were in for some trouble. So should we make a trade for those two guys? Because here's the deal. I've seen a lot of people saying, and I wanted to take some screenshots, but I didn't want to make it look like I was calling anyone out on Twitter. I wasn't trying to start a beef or anything. So I guess you guys just have to take my word for it that it's out there. If you're not on Twitter is where I go for my information and insiders. A lot of the beat writers for the Detroit Lions tweet out very, very fast what's going on with the team. And Twitter can also be a very toxic place. Okay. So there's a lot of people out there who have very, very strong opinions and it's their way or the highway and their opinion is the only right one. And I try to avoid that. So I didn't want to take any screenshots and post it here for proof that I'm not, generating a clickbait video. If you guys are not on there, I'm telling you, what you get from me is I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm going to tell you how it is. Okay. There's a lot of stuff out there. Piggybacking off what's on Twitter and what happened in my episode and what was said yesterday, I felt like I had to get back on here and talk about it some more. So I see a lot of people willing to give up multiple first-round picks for either Hendrickson or Crosby. We're talking 2 first-rounders. I've seen some people tweeting out, and I'm just like, what are we doing? Are we playing Madden? It's fun to think about. You guys are actually going to mortgage the future on a defensive end. You give up 2 first-round picks for 2 things, in my opinion. Proven quarterbacks, i.e. Matthew Stafford. There's the proof. Or to move up in the draft and get the number 1 overall pick. Okay, that's been done 100 times. Okay, the Chicago Bears just did it with the Carolina Panthers. You're not trading multiple first-round picks for defensive ends. And I get it. They are game wreckers. They can't change the game. They're huge impact players. Aiden Hutchinson, kind of quiet in the Arizona game, showed up in the 4th quarter. That's when you really want your pass rush to start getting after it. Once we officially make a team one-dimensional, I want to see these guys getting after it. That's what Hutch did on Sunday. So if we could get Hendrickson or Crosby, that's great. I'm not giving up 2 first-rounders for him. The value's not there. If I'm wrong, and I very well could be on this, I don't think a defensive player has been traded for multiple first-round picks. I could be wrong. Leave it in the comments if I am. Tell me the player, I'll look it up, and I'll believe you. I'm not going to call anyone a liar. Just off the top of my head, it's never been done before, okay? I'm trying to rack my brain, and Darrelle Revis is coming to mind, but I don't remember his situation from 10, 15 years ago. But quarterbacks, number one picks in the draft. That's what warrants a multiple first round picks in a trade. Okay, so if we're going to talk about making a trade, I trust Aaron Glenn. I don't trust Ben Johnson. Why would we not go out and get Jared Goff some more help? Because, and I say that because yesterday the news came out about Frank Ragnow. Torn pec. Don't know how severe it is. I listened to 97 Win the Ticket this morning. I saw it on, again, Twitter. And I saw that Dan Campbell was on there, and he said that Frank's stubborn and he's going to try to play through this. That's fine. I hate, man, Frank, dude, you're a freaking psycho. If you play Monday night with a torn pec, we need to just start building the statue and put Frank in the Ring of Honor right there with Kelvin Johnson at halftime. Like, hats off, all due respect. That would be a warrior move. But the longevity of this team, Kevin Zeitler's on a 1-year deal. Frank Ragnow's banged up. Why don't we go out there and trade for an offensive lineman, if anything? Okay. And I don't have a name for you right now. If this is something you guys want me to look into, leave it in the comments. I'll do some research. I'll dig up some teams. I'll look at some contracts. I'll look at some guys who might be unhappy in their current positions, and I'll look at some offensive linemen. I'll do the homework for you guys. Leave it in the comments if that's something you want to do. And there's one more guy I'm going to mention real quick. Not going to spend a lot of time on it when I'm trading. I've also seen a lot of people saying that they don't feel like the Detroit Lions have that Josh Reynolds player, that comfort blanket for Jared Goff. And we're not going to get that back. I'm not saying we're going to go out and get Josh Reynolds, but do we need another third wide receiver? Possibly. It's not a need. I'm not going to lose sleep if it doesn't happen. It would be nice, and you can't just fast forward and get that instant chemistry. It's not going to happen. It takes time. I haven't seen a whole lot from Tim Patrick. Allen Robinson only played like one play the other day. So I can't put a lot of faith in that. So a name I'm just going to throw out, given their team standings, their contract, where they are in their career, and maybe the desire to win. Why not go to the Tennessee Titans and look at DeAndre Hopkins? Why not, guys? That's all I'm going to say. Leave it in the comments. I can't wait to see what you guys say. Probably some nice things, probably some not so nice things. Either way, thanks for watching. Stick around. I'll be back later with another show.